Okay, we are live. This is my third live. And why am I doing this live? Is because I have been trying to do this, and for some reason, I keep retaking and retaking and retaking the same thing. I mean, I do something like that, and I gotta do it over again. So if I do it live, that's it. You get my mistakes and all. So today, actually, I am going to talk about the annual review. So if anybody comes in and they want to pop in and make their comments, please leave the comments below. If you do like this video, please leave a like at the bottom and consider subscribing. So anyway, today we're going to talk about the annual review. Now, some people hate the annual review, and some people love, don't mind it. I don't think anybody loves it. I've had both. When I do well, I didn't mind that reviews, but when I knew my performance or my manager and I didn't click, I dreaded them. Actually, there were many times I would go in, my stomach would feel bad because, it's the annual review. And I came out happy. And I was like, yeah, good. That's cool. And there's the times I'm like, what? What? I did, I thought I did awesome, but my manager thought I didn't. I've had good reviews and bad reviews. So basically, what is the annual review? That is when you go in and your boss tells you how you're doing, and basically when you do an annual review, you might want to think back to your previous review. And if you don't do reviews, you really should, even if you dread them. They do help, and you do get to hear how your boss thinks of you. Because I had one boss. This was many, many years ago. I mean, I've been working for 30 years. So, but this was many years ago, and I thought I was doing an awesome job. But they came in, and in the review, I was like, "Wow, you don't like my work." And but it was a way to and it wasn't that they didn't like the work. They were just very critical in the way they do all their reviews, and they didn't know how to put any good. They just went for the bad. So in the review, I found out all the things that I did that they did enjoy. It's just on my form, it was everything that they didn't. And it was really helpful because then you could, you work towards it. But when you do go to review, things you should do, one are look back at your last review. And then you think about when you did it, did you prepare for it? Were you honest about your work? How much time did you take to prepare for your review? And then I'm talking about the last one. And then think about how long it took when you were talking to your boss. How long did it sit down? Was your meeting? Did you take it seriously? Or like, okay, okay. Or did you say yes and take things, constructively? Then what do you think your boss thought about the review last time? And then were they, like, okay, or were they, because I've had some managers that don't like reviews. I mean, they don't like giving them, and they don't like sitting and writing them. I mean, as an EA, at times I had to write the review for the CEO's reports. That was not fun. Actually, it was kind of fun, but it wasn't fun. And when you did do your review last year, did you make any goals? And then you think about the review coming up, or the one that you're working on now. When did you make any of those? Did you do any goals last year? And if you did you achieve them? And did you make any progress on them? If your boss had any constructive ideas for you, did you work on those? Then again, did you tell your boss last year what you want to do and where you want to go? Hopefully they asked that. Hang up on him. Anyway, so then, where was I? So as I said, when it's a place where you get to say what you want to do. If you want to improve on something, or if you want to move and do something, you have an opportunity to shape your job in the way you want it to go in the review. Sometimes your boss won't always be receptive. Sometimes they will. If you're aligning your objectives with your boss's objectives, there's a good, good, you'll probably get what you want. If you're aligning your objectives something totally different and that does not support your boss or the company's goals, then you may not get what you want. So anyway, so what are you likely to cover at your one-on-ones? First, you're going to cover any progress you've made. Let's see then if there's any particular skills or achievements you've developed, or that you've developed or demonstrated over the years. Then you may talk about how you work, your approach to work. What do you do well and what do you not do well? Then you may talk about where you see your career growing in the company. Let's see, some things that you may need help with, what things you may need help with, but that hinder your progression. Let's see, and then you'll find out if your boss supports your goals. And when you're working with your boss, in the management, you'll find out if your career goals do match the company's goals or where you're at. And then if it isn't, then you may have to think about where you want to go in the future. So anyway, if your boss does have some criticisms, don't burst out into tears, even though you may want to. You're holding back. Your boss hopefully will provide specific examples of where, what the problems were and how you need to improve. And hopefully they will also do this sandwich where they'll tell you some of the things that you do well. Because no matter what, if you are there, you are doing something right. But it's so easy to to get all the negative at a review. Make sure that you get the positive. Even if your boss thinks about all the negative, oh yeah, wait. Sit down and talk about it. Say, well, what about this? What do I do right? So you do get that positive reinforcement. So basically, how do you prepare? Okay, you're going to have this review and you're going to sit down and talk. What do you do to prepare? So if they do come at you and you do feel basically attacked, which hopefully you don't. Hopefully it's a very good review and there's, constructive criticism, but there's also, hey, let's do this together and let's work on this. You can, build your path. As I said, I'm really into that you should try to align your goals with your boss's goals, because that's how you are going to achieve. And you can take your long-term goals. Let's say you want to get into more project management. You can take those, but you just have to think about your boss's goals and how you can work that in. If you like event planning, maybe you could think about that, but take what you want to do and think about it in your boss and the company's goals. So basically, you're going into a review. And this is a very good time to show your boss the role you do want to have, because this is your place to shine. And so when you go into a review, bring in any achievements you've done, any goals that you've set and that you have surpassed, or whatever it may be. If you maybe you have a weakness, you could go in and say, hey, boss, I know this is my weak point. This is my plan that I would like to do to be more strong in this area. So bring in an action plan to your problems. Another one, the big thing is bring solutions, not problems. Don't say, well, I'm not very good at proofreading. Think of, oh, well, but Grammarly is going to help me a lot, or I'll study or whatever. It may be another place that's really good for the review is keep track of your accomplishments, small, big. Make a list. I did this one year and had a huge list, but in reality, if I didn't have that list, I would not have remembered a lot of the little things that we just take for granted every day. It could be could be, remember that time we had to go and run out and get catering, and it may be simple as that. But there's so many, we do so many things every day that when you're in your review, you are going to forget them. So I kept a list of everything, and I kind of showed the list. I said, well, some of these are small, but some of these are major, and it was there documented. And then, of course, they look at it and say, oh yeah, I remember that, but they wouldn't remember it if I hadn't had the list. So keep a list of what you have accomplished in the past year, and then when it does come to your goals, as I said, align them, but make sure this is the time that you could tell them, and your manager can say, yeah, okay, let's work towards that. Maybe they'll send you to a training or a conference, or get you some resources, or even help buy a book. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, that's where you could start working on your overall career and where you want to go. Let's see, what else do I have on my notes here? Another thing, as I said, that goes back to the skills. If you want to improve some of your skills, this is the place to ask your boss. They know you, and hopefully you have a boss that's understanding. Not everybody does. I'm doing a poll right now on what's the biggest issue for assistants. One thing. That's all I'm asking. One thing, and I am surprisingly getting a vast amount of different things. But I just lost my train of thought. That's what happens. See, and if I wasn't doing this live, I would cut that, but I can't. So I'm just going to move on because, the skills. You just always have to get them. Let's see, what do you need? Your boss your boss should be able to help you. They should be able to help you improve your skills and the training. And then you could ask about any challenges that are coming up over the year. Excuse me. Your boss knows what's coming in the future. So you always want to be proactive. You want to be one step ahead. So one way is to ask your boss, so what are the challenges you see coming up this year? This is not in your job, just the overall. But it helps them, helps you understand where they're going. And then you could, as I said, once again, tailor your job to work towards the goals. So basically, you want to be clear about what you want, and you want to be clear about what you've done. And then if you do get a bad review, you want to be very clear on what needs to be done to improve that. As I said, don't take it personal. It's always constructive criticism. Even if you have a boss that doesn't know how to give it constructively. I've had, as I said, I had one boss that was just really hard. She just wasn't very good at being constructive. She was good at being destructive. And this is one of the times I did want to come out crying. But you maintain your composure. You get a good night's sleep, and then you hit the road running and try to figure out what to do to improve. Now, I was there for many years, so I did improve, but there were times I did not like the reviews there. Let's see, and then what else? And then you're going to also figure out what you want to do in the next year, and then you're going to go through how you can achieve them, or you can talk to say, hey, I want to do it this way. Remember to bring solutions, and then document it all, and then when you do get out of it, set your own goals, make an action plan to improve what you want to, that you need to improve, and then, as I said, so you need to improve what you want to improve. You hopefully have a action plan to the things you want to do to make you happy in your job. And that is my live for annual reviews. I'm getting used to this. So with that, I will say see you in the next video, and hopefully next Thursday we'll have another live. Anyway, thanks. Have a good day.